Hi, thank you so much for joining the SoftEngine webinar featuring tiered pricing with SAP Business One. In this presentation, we have Project Manager Rona Levin, Technical Consultant Frank Aluni, and SoftEngine Client Baronet Coffee with Alex Goldsmith. In this presentation, you'll learn how tiered pricing was able to save Baronet Coffee both time and valued resources leveraging this module. I could say more, but I think I'll leave it to the experts. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone. As Ashley mentioned, my name is Rona Levin, and I'm a project manager at SoftEngine.
And I am Frank Aluni, a technical consultant at SoftEngine. We appreciate you spending some time with us today, allowing us to share our story and to demonstrate the SoftEngine tier pricing solution.
In today's competitive business world, now more than ever, companies are having to get creative with their pricing and discounts to stay competitive. Vendors are offering discounts that have many layers and intricacies to maximize profitability while offering the customer the best purchase price and ultimately closing the deal. ERPs are having to keep up with the functionality of their systems to accommodate the ever-changing rules of the game. Today's webinar is about tiered pricing. So what is tiered pricing? There are a few different definitions out there in the business world. We are specifically referring to a pricing model used to purchase or sell, depending which side you're on, products within a particular price range. This is a strategy employed to define a price per unit within a range. The price per unit may apply to a single item type or a mix of multiple items, which would all count towards the price range tier. Tiered pricing allows for creative options for a grouping of products by quality, quantity, or service. SAP Business One allows you to create a multitude of different price lists for items. This gives you the flexibility to be able to offer many layers of pricing and discounting to different business partners, business partner groups, and payment terms. SAP Business One derives item prices from a price list that is linked to a business partner along with additional rules and configurations. You can apply specific price lists, period and volume discounts, discount groups, and special prices for business partners. While SAP Business One solution is quite robust with multiple layers to capture different scenarios, the relationship between pricing and items is a one-to-one relationship, meaning when applying a special price to a business partner or applying a volume discount, it is for the one item for the one business partner. These vendors we are talking about are offering volume discount structures that extend beyond a single item and offer price breaks over multiple items and potentially with various tiers. SAP Business One does not offer this functionality out of the box. That means that end users would have to manually validate pricing when creating purchasing documents. This manual verification would open the door to inefficient processes, additional processing time, as well as yielding a higher probability of mistakes. Joining us today is SoftEngine's customer, Alex Goldsmith from Baronet Coffee Roasters, a coffee company based out of Windsor, Connecticut. Baronet brought this challenge to us in implementation. Alex, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you please tell us about this discount structure and the challenges we faced in implementation?
Of course. The challenge we faced was that 6 Baronet vendors offer tier pricing on like items to maximize our purchasing discounts. Standard SAP does allow for volume pricing on any single item that a vendor provides. However, it did not allow us to group the items we purchase from a vendor and then apply the appropriate discounts. We were initially concerned with this gap in SAP Business One's price list and special pricing functionality, but with the help of SoftEngine, SAP Business One can now accurately apply the appropriate price to all of our purchase orders.
Thank you, Alex. So to Alex's point, the solution needed to span across multiple items with multiple tiers. After numerous sessions and many emails with Alex at Baronet to define the specific needs and scenarios, we designed and built a solution for Baronet, tier pricing.
The tier pricing solution offered the user the ability to create a unique pricing record. In this pricing window, a single vendor or multiple vendors can be added. We allow for multiple vendors to be added to the record for scenarios like a vendor price match, scenarios where more than one vendor is offering the same discount structure and pricing. In this window, all the items which the tier pricing should apply to are also entered along with the quantity ranges for which the discount should apply. After the tier pricing window and its related data are added, the tier pricing will scan the applicable purchasing document whenever they are added or edited and apply the discounts. During the add or edit process, the solution will collect the item that belong to a tier along with the corresponding information. In this case, where there is pricing configured into SAP for the vendor or item through pricing list, period discount, and volume discount, the solution will override those figures and apply the tier pricing record.
We are about to see how this solution works, what data points are required, and we will then see the functionality in action on purchasing documents.
Going over into SAP Business One, we'll now begin our demonstration. We are in HANA version 9.3, and let's have a quick look at SAP Business One's pricing options. If we visit one of our business partners, we can take a look at the price list. So we've got our direct price list that's connected with the vendor. We've also got the special pricing for business partners. So in this scenario, we have this item, which is associated as a special business partner price. We also have period discounts, which we can offer a discounting period on a specific item, as well as special prices by quantity volume price breaks. So this is standard SAP's functionality. Now that we've seen standard SAP, let's go to our solution. We have added a new menu option for tier pricing under Inventory, Price Lists, Tier Pricing. In this window, as you can see, we have a group code and a group name. The items which need to be grouped into a single pricing tier will be assigned to a unique group. We also have a field here for minimum run. This field will designate the minimum quantity required to be purchased from this specific vendor or vendors for these specific items. In the first tab, we have our vendors. As Frank mentioned earlier, we can add a single or multiple vendors to this tab if the pricing applies to more than one vendor. In the second tab, we have our items, which we would like to group into this discount tier. And in the third tab, we have our range of quantity and pricing, where we will store the quantity layers and the applicable purchase price.
So now that we have our tiers pricing record that we've created, we have our code BX1, the group name is Boxes Group 1, and we have our minimum run set at 5,000. We've selected our vendor, TST Vendor Company, and now we can go ahead and add our items. Got our first item, select update, add another line. And we'll add just one more. Okay, so now we've added the items that we would like to group into this tier pricing. And now we can go ahead and enter our quantities and ranges. So we've already set our minimum run at 5,000. So that's where we will start our from units. And we can designate that we're going up to 9,999 and we will pay 89 cents each. We can add an additional tier. We'll start at 10,000 up to 14,999 and we can designate that price at 75 cents each. Select update and let's just go ahead and add a third tier. We will designate this one at 66 cents each. So now let's go ahead and review our record. We've got our pricing information, our single vendor, but we could add an additional or more if we need to, our specific items, and our ranges. So now we can go ahead and open up our purchase order. And let's go ahead and open up the tier pricing as well to have that kind of running in the background so we can take a look at it as a reference point as well. So here we have the record that we just created. Let's go ahead and select our business partner, TST Vendor Company, and let's go ahead and start creating our purchase order. So we've set the minimum run at 5,000, and I'll go ahead and try to add a purchase order for 4,000, which would not meet the minimum run requirement. If I go ahead and try to add it, I'll get a message like this. The tier pricing is not, the minimum has not been met. Okay, so we need to go ahead and change that. If I update that to 5,000, that should fall under this, the first tier at 89 cents. But as you can see here, the pricing is taken from SAP because we have not added or updated the document yet. And the purchasing price list is set at 1.5. So let's go ahead and add this purchase order and watch what happens. So as you can see, the tier pricing has updated the document to 89 cents instead of the $1.50. Let's add a second item and take a look at what happens next. So if we try to hit the next tier, which is at 5,000, at 10,000, excuse me, and we update that to 10,000 total quantity, and I'll go ahead and update. The tier pricing solution will go ahead and scan the document once again and bring back the price for that tier. If we add our third item, now we should be hitting the next tier, the third tier. I'll go ahead and update. And we can see that now the pricing has been set to 66 cents each. So as you can see, tier pricing will successfully scan and update the document with the applicable pricing into the purchasing document. Alex, please share with us the experience that you have had with the solution that's in place now and how it's been working for Baronet.
Of course, Rana. The tier pricing module has been working perfectly. We are able to create purchase orders in SAP with the unique pricing scenarios that our vendors provide us. We are also able to edit purchasing documents, which have already been added, make any necessary changes, and know that we have a solution in place that we can rely on to accurately capture any pricing modifications. This module will save our purchasing manager hours of work while ensuring that our inputs to production are costed correctly so that we can have real-time profitability reports.
That's great. We're happy to hear that, Alex. Thank you for your input and for allowing us to steal you away from selling coffee for a little while. And thanks to all of you for joining us and viewing SoftEngine's story of tier pricing. Ashley, back to you.
SoftEngine, solutions that impact the bottom line.